What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're here for episode number 9 of our My Team journey. It is the Hungarian Grand Prix. Bit of a buggy track for me, Budapest. I don't know what it is. I'm just not that. I just don't feel like I'm quick enough around there, and I feel like that's a pretty strong track for the AI from my point of view. We had ex-Formula 1 driver Lucas Weber wanting a tour of the headquarters, but apparently if we gave him the tour, we'd be losing 750 resource points. So I opted not to do that because I wanted the resource points. We are going to be also renewing our sponsor Diztor, but I wanted to have a look at some of the others to see, what else is there. But I've decided to stay with Diztor, and we're going to have that on the car still. We had a rear downforce upgrade, so now we've got equal downforce on the car. So I think they're major upgrades from here on in. A DRS upgrade for Spud wouldn't be too bad, actually. We're still waiting on the tyre wear upgrade. That's something that I'm hoping that's going to get on the car for this weekend. So I'm just looking around to see what other upgrades can go. An MG UK and a control electronics upgrade, that's pretty good. At least now every durability upgrade except for one, which is the energy store, every single durability upgrade it now has at least one department upgrade, and apparently there's only 3 that can be upgraded, so which is interesting. I'm actually liking the new R&D screen. I like that. I do miss the R&D tree, but I don't mind the new R&D screen. Anyway, moving into the weekend now. Hungary is a bit of a tyre wear track for me. So a tyre wear upgrade wouldn't be too bad. That's going to get on the day before we start heading off to the track. But is there any other upgrades that we can do? They're not going to get on the time for Hungary, but I am looking at some DRS upgrades. I'm aiming to get at least one of them on for Monza. Engine power for Monza would be nice, actually. So we're gonna get that on the car. It's a long wait, but it could be worth it. We can't get any other down or drag reduction upgrades yet. I would like to have a drag reduction upgrade on the car, and well, that's the tyre wear upgrade that failed. That would have been so good to have on the car, which means we probably could have stretched the mediums a little bit longer than what we want. Because I'm already going to say now, we're going to do a one-stop medium to hard race. I would have liked to stretch the mediums out an extra lap or so, but we'll just have to see what happens here this weekend. So moving into the weekend, I'm looking at the DRS, and now we can get that on for Monza. So as soon as we got to the weekend, we were able to get that upgrade purchased and hopefully on the car in time for Monza. That would be absolutely awesome. During practice now, I had a bit of a moment with Gasly. I wouldn't say he pushed us, because when we look at a replay in just a second, you'll see this is actually the perfect angle. He doesn't really squeeze us out too much. That one was probably just me hopping up onto the curb, and that's what happens when you get up onto the curb. This is Gasly's view. Yeah, just going back and even looking at this, it didn't look like he squeezed me, if not at all. So I reckon that's something to do with me there for a few portions. Energy store discount 15% off. That's not too bad. If we can get the energy store done, then literally every component will have at least level 1 upgrade, and that's something that I want to focus on before we get to some other power tracks or something. So I think we're going to rectify that now. 40% failure chance. I don't think that's going to get on the car in time for Monza, but you have to make these bold decisions. So let's head to qualifying. Here we go then for qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Went out a little bit later this time. I don't often do that, but I reckon I misjudged the time, because I usually just go out on a flying lap instead of driving out. The only time I would drive out to save the energy and the tires and just keep them at a reasonable temperature would be on the last lap or the last flying lap, so they've got all the juice for the final run. So we did a secondary lap, didn't go any faster, so now this is what we're doing. We're going out onto the track with the lowest fuel load and the newest tires, and we're going to see if we can improve at all on this secondary lap. So as you can see, we're going green to the first sector, but we're barely down at the second sector mark, and we went in pretty deep into whatever turn that is, and I was going pretty deep, or braking late and just trying to get the best speed possible. And even through the last corner, we found the time, but we didn't improve by much at all. So it looks like that first run was probably the best I could have done. And we are P20 in qualifying, which is a little bit disappointing, because I thought we were going to find a hell of a lot more than what I originally thought. So going into the race, we are doing a one-stop medium to hard race. It's probably the easiest way. The softs won't last very long around here. So medium to hard race, top 15, top 16, something like that is all I'm aiming for today.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of the Formula One World Championship. We don't expect too many retirements at this track. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher. He made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungaroring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking has always been difficult on this technical 2.7-mile circuit, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. Let's hope we're in for another one here today. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn one. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Sergio Perez and Ricciardo, Norris, Gasly, Tsunoda and Esteban Ocon, Hamilton, Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen and Stroll, Giovinazzi, Fernando Alonso, George Russell and Nicholas Latifi, Skip, Lundgaard, Mazepin and Mick Schumacher.
Okay, so here we are for the race, medium to hard race. I'm thinking about doing an extra lap on medium, so we can probably push twice as hard on the hards. So that's the plan today. Medium to hard, push as much as we can, and we are 5 red lights, and we're go for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Not going to be easy, or it's never easy getting the mediums off the line compared to the softs, as Latifi gets the jump on the lot of us. Went a little bit conservative into turn 1 as we rear-end Latifi. Thankfully, no bad front wing damage, so that's lucky. So now we are pretty much dead last now, but not for long, as we dive up the inside of Mick and braking a little bit earlier than what I probably would have liked. I only braked earlier because I didn't want to run into the back of Mazepin, and we are now P21. It's been a while since we've been down this far. I didn't think that we'd be down this far until about, actually here. So here we are, P21, I guess. up the inside of Mazepin into the chicane. Don't see too many moves there, even in real life. So, but somehow we just managed to make those work. So now Latifi is all over the back of Christian. Hopefully he can keep him behind until DRS gets open, and maybe we can have a look at the inside of him. That would be rather lovely, in all honesty. And so the very next lap, or the end of lap 1, heading on to lap 2, we are, just trying to stay or get the tyres up to temperature and just, see if we can just hook on to the back of this train for the time being. So that's basically all I'm trying to do here. It took a little bit of that curve, which is, you don't want to be taking too much of the curves at the chicane, because you'll easily get a snap of oversteer, especially in the first part of that chicane. Lap 4 now, and Latifi is having a look at Christian down the inside at turn 1. He gets the move done, and he'll get DRS to make sure that move is confirmed. And so Latifi is up into 18th place. We are still stuck behind our teammate, and that's the chicane I was talking about. There's a yellow flag behind. That's Mazepin, who's just lost the car. I would assume he hasn't been taken out. No, he's done it on his own. So that is all to himself there, that incident. So did he take too much of the curve? And that is very interesting. I think he lost it before they even got to the chicane. Let's have a listen. Wow, that sounded like he put the throttle down way too much, and before he even touched the curb. So I reckon the car lost control before he even touched the curb. As we are thinking about a move on Christian, massive dive bomb. We park the bus, and we get the move done up into P19 now. So I reckon this is probably going to be, where we're going to stay for a little while now, as Giovinazzi is in the pit lane for a set of medium tyres. So that confirms he is doing a 2-stop. He gets held up briefly by Latifi, who's also going on to mediums, and they are both back out and away. So that cost Giovinazzi a couple of seconds there. So with this one stop, I'm just trying to, just look after the tyres and just keep them in the operating window. When I say that, I mean, watching the temperatures a little, because when the tyres overheat, this car can be very difficult to steer, especially through all the high speed stuff. So now with the two stoppers pitting, we've got Gasly, Ricciardo, and championship contender Hamilton. So he will be kicking himself here, because when Max pits, I didn't see what tyres he was on, but when Max pits, he'll come out way ahead of Lewis if he hasn't stopped already. So Gasly is looking up the inside of turn 1. That was always going to happen. He's on a 1-stop. Danny and Lewis are on a 1-stop, so they might be able to get passes with ease. Danny and Gasly does. I'm not so sure about Lewis. Oh dear, we've opened the door a little bit, but he chooses not to go for a Lewis. That was his best chance to stay with this train, and we are side by side going to the fast chicane. We bump wheels and we survive. Gee, that was really close. This is on board with Lewis. Oh wow, I didn't even think that I moved over that much, if not at all. I don't even think I moved at all, but he gets the DRS anyway, Lewis. So that cost us, or that cost him, a little bit of time. Didn't really cost me too much, because I'm just trying to drive at my normal pace, and that little back end loss, nice and touching to see. So moving forward now with this the race, just trying to drive to the best of my ability, basically, and as well as keeping it relatively clean. The guys in front who stopped got to like a 3-second lead, but didn't get anywhere higher than that, and apparently George was yet to pit. So I'm thinking, oh okay, what the hell's going on here? Anyway, a few laps later, we are boxing for hard compound tyres. We are pitting exactly at the halfway point. So now the aim is just to push these hards to the end of the race, and Christian behind me is in the pit lane as well. So maybe, I think I was originally scheduled to pit on lap 16, but I chose to go an extra lap. 2.1 seconds stop. That's a good it's a good stop, boys. And there is George, who just came out just in front of us. We are on 1 lap fresher hard, so this shouldn't be too much of an issue to get past George. However, the Williams is faster than us by a little bit, actually, in the performance index. So we're just going to try and stay with him as long as we can. Maybe even thinking about a move if we are lucky. What massive moment. We've rear-ended George. Lucky he didn't spin, and lucky I don't think I lost too much, or if any, of my front wing. But, however, this battle may still well continue. As George gets the run at the end of the apex, or coming out of the last corner, we spam a little bit of our overtake button. We think about a move, we hold him up, and we get the move done. That's what I like to do. I like to come in late, hold the car up, so that my opponents or other rivals don't think about an overlap. So a little bit rude there, but a bit of gamesmanship as well, you know. So just moving on with this race now, just trying to push away from George as I can, or as much as I can. But however, Antonio Giovinazzi, who was in front of us, he was on a 2-stop. And
some information on Stroll. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Okay, that is very interesting news. So, yeah, as I was saying, Giovinazzi was on a 2-stop. He's on a set of mediums, and we're not going to get away from him by doing little mistakes like that. However, usually he'd be reducing the gap by about a second or so each lap. It was about 11 seconds with 11 laps to go, and here we've got 7 laps to go. The gap is at 7.8. So maybe if he pushes the tyres too much and maybe they overheat, then we could just about hold on for P16. Not bad of a result. Only one driver retired. I actually didn't catch who retired, but we're down to 21 competitors in this race, as we are now right behind Stroll. Whatever the problem is, doesn't look to be too good. A little bit of a moment there. Just coming out of turn 1. Hopefully, for Stroll's sake, the issue is fixed quickly, because we are right on him and maybe shoving up a move in the next lap or so. 4 laps to go now. Giovinazzi on mediums, not really catching us anymore, so maybe the gap has stabilised and the battle between us, Giovinazzi and Russell, has settled a little bit. But on our side, trying to catch Stroll, looks like that problem may have been fixed. And yep, there you go, with 2 laps to go, the problem has been fixed, and he gets a get out of jail free card and bridges the gap by nearly 2 seconds. Well, bit unfortunate. Would have loved a top 15 finish, but I did say top 15, top 16 was going to be the aim. It looks like it is going to be 16th place after 35 laps. Not bad of a weekend, I guess.
Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Yeah, decent race there. Giovinazzi didn't get quite as close like I would have thought he would have. So, 16th place. Let's see what happens for the rest of the season.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
Well, they are going to be very, very hard to beat, the Red Bulls. They are very, very much on a roll, which is why we don't, why we don't see them on the track too much, because, we're not even thereabouts up the front, and, well, thankfully we aren't really getting lapped. So P16 and P whatever Christian is there, maybe 19th or 18th. Yeah, it was a good race. Considering that Hungary isn't probably one of my strongholds, that was a good enough race for me. I'll rate that. So going into the season break now, I don't know what upgrades we've got going on the car. Maybe a powertrain upgrade. But yeah, whatever upgrades we can get on the car would be awesome. One thing that I mentioned just before qualifying, the durability upgrade, what was that? An energy store upgrade? 40% failure chance. I said that I don't think that car will get on the car in time. When I say that, I mean because the durability is probably the worst at failure chance if they can actually not even get on the car the first shot. And that's something that's it frustrates you because you've been struggling so much with durability and reliability issues all season, and you just really want specific or just any durability upgrades on the car. So if that frustrates you, then it'll frustrate me because I don't even like it. So the quicker we can get these facility upgrades done, which means we will be able to do more upgrades at a time, which is something that I keep banging on about. But seriously, the more we can do these upgrades, the better it'll be for us. So that is it for today's video, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you're watching these videos and you're not subscribed, please subscribe right now to see plenty more F1 racing game content. And I will be I've actually done quite a few F1 videos to this point. I still need to go back and edit them, but I've actually done what, 2 or 3 races in a couple of days, and yeah, so they're yet to be edited. So I'm hoping to get my head down and get these videos up as quickly as possible. But like guys, as I said, nothing is guaranteed with me editing and with other stuff to do in and out of the house. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, as I have said already. But yeah, until the next one though, I'll see you next time.